Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. In today's video, we're going to analyze Olivier Giroud's movement and break down how it played a key role in Chelsea's 4-0 win over Sevilla. When we break down the game and we do look at the board, we have Chelsea in a 4-3-3 and Sevilla in a 4-2-3-1. The manner in which both sides looked to press each other did see a midfield battle that did consist of a 3v3 duel in the center of the pitch. We witnessed Kovacic and Havertz deal with Gudel and Rakitic, and then it was Jorginho's job to occupy Oscar. There were times where we did see those midfield players alternate positions, but Chelsea did a very good job of ensuring that if, for instance, we had Oscar Rodriguez dropping deeper and towards the path of Havertz, then Jorginho would push to close down Rakitic. If Chelsea looked to press from the front and Havertz did step to the spare center back, he would look to block off the passing lane into Rakitic, and then we would see Jorginho either stick to Oscar or there would be times where Jorginho would shift across to deal with Rakitic. So as you can see from a defensive perspective, Chelsea were pretty much covered in terms of how they looked to press, and that played a key role in ensuring that Sevilla couldn't play out of the back and that Rakitic and Gudel couldn't dictate the tempo of the game from deeper positions. Now, when we looked at how Chelsea were able to create chances, a lot of that did stem through transition, and Olivier Giroud's movement did play a key factor in their success. When we looked at Chelsea's opening goal, we witnessed Havertz carrying the ball into the Sevilla half, and he has Hudson-Odoi to his right, Pulisic in the Jesus Navas-Sergi Gomez gap, and Giroud between both center backs. With Rakitic closing in to apply pressure from behind on Havertz approaching the Sevilla box, you could see Pulisic shifting between both center backs and Giroud drifting across Diego Carlos with his body opening up to receive a pass. Havertz ends up sliding the ball towards Giroud in right half space, and before he receives the ball, you could see that he's looking to take a touch with the inside of his right foot onto his left across the Sevilla center back because Rekic is applying pressure off his shoulder, while Pulisic's run across Sergi Gomez drags the defender away from the play to create a 1v1 scenario. But Giroud's ability to take his first touch onto his left foot creates space ahead of Diego Carlos to bend his effort beyond Pastore. If we look to another example, following another Chelsea break from midfield, Kovacic guides the ball across Gudel to Pulisic breaking in the left channel. This results in a 3v2 break with Giroud between the both Sevilla center backs and Hudson-Odoi once again free down that right channel. And as Pulisic breaks towards the box at Sergi Gomez, Giroud makes an intelligent run across Diego Carlos to drag the Sevilla center back into left half space, but it also creates a passing lane for an unmarked Hudson-Odoi to break free on goal. However, Pulisic opts to drag the ball to the outside of Sergi Gomez onto his left foot to fire a low effort on goal that Pastore saves, rather than playing in an unmarked Hudson-Odoi breaking into the Sevilla box. If we shift to Giroud's link-up play, we witness Emerson fire a first-time ball across Vasquez for Pulisic dropping into his own half to drag out Jesus Navas, and Pulisic ends up backheeling the ball first time across the Sevilla right back, and this is where you see the backheeled first-time pass split the Sevilla right back and Rakitic for Giroud dragging out Sergi Gomez. When Giroud drags out Sergi Gomez, you can also see Kovacic beginning his run between the Sevilla double pivot in Gudel and Rakitic. When Giroud drops the ball off to Kovacic, the Chelsea midfielder takes his first touch between Gudel and Rakitic into Sevilla's half to launch a transitional attack. If we look to Chelsea's second goal, you witness Jorginho spinning away from Oscar and splitting Rakitic and Oscar to find Kovacic dropping off Rekic to receive the ball. Once Kovacic receives the ball, you could see Diego Carlos stepping forward to apply pressure, while Giroud identifies the space between the Sevilla center backs and demands to receive the ball in that area as he begins to run across Sergi Gomez and points in the direction where he wants the ball. Kovacic pokes the ball across Diego Carlos for Giroud running across Sergi Gomez, and what Giroud does well here is that he lets the ball roll across his body, but it also gives him the ability to use his body as a shield to hold off a potential challenge from the Sevilla center back and place himself in a legitimate goal-scoring position to chip the Sevilla goalkeeper. If we shift back to Giroud's link-up play, there was a time where Kovacic slid the ball across Koundé for Pulisic ahead of Sergi Gomez and Jordan. And that's where you see Giroud dropping off Diego Carlos to show for the ball. Pulisic plays the ball across Gomez for Giroud and instantly darts into the gap between Jordan and Sergi Gomez into the box. And Giroud plays a first-time return ball into left half space for Pulisic. But the Chelsea attacking midfielder's first touch is a bit heavy towards the byline, and it allows Sergi Gomez and Diego Carlos to shift across to block his pullback for a corner. However, minutes later, Giroud was able to kill off the game. We witnessed Conte running off Rakitic into the right channel, and you could see Giroud pointing for the ball goal side of Sergi Gomez as Diego Carlos shifts across. Conte does a very good job of playing a lofted ball over Diego Carlos for Giroud darting across Sergi Gomez to the front post, and that's where you see Giroud flicking his header into the top corner. And lastly, we witnessed Giroud's all-round game in the penalty that Chelsea were awarded. From an Emerson throw, we witnessed Giroud shift ahead of Sergi Gomez and chest the ball into the path of Hudson-Odoi ahead of Koundé. Hudson-Odoi plays the ball square to Giroud ahead of Sergi Gomez and Ocampos, and Giroud does well to hold off their press and slide the ball back to Jorginho. When Jorginho switches the play out to an unmarked Azpilicueta pushing forward, you can witness Giroud signaling for the ball between the center backs as he begins to run towards the box. And as Azpilicueta delivers the ball ahead of Jordan shifting over, Giroud begins to run across Gomez, who eventually takes him down for the penalty that he converts.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching and subscribe here for your latest tactical analysis and daily commentary on the Interview show. And if that wasn't enough, don't forget you could find more organic, unfiltered soccer/football analysis on the Interviews podcast, the best soccer/football podcast in the world, available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and any Android apps on your Android devices.